Hello, my name is Konrad Czernik. I'm art director for Floodland project in Monarch.
And I'm Piotr Musia, one of the composers for Floodland.
So the game is post-apocalyptic world, but we wanted to approach it a slightly different way than classic post-apo depressive vibe. So we wanted to put a bit of hope and break it with the despair. So that's one level. The second one is stylization. So it's beautiful, artsy project. It was way different in the beginning than in the middle, and the final project is actually something we really are proud of. But before we balanced those emotions slightly different way, and also the human acts and everything you do in this world is slightly diverse. Some actions and features are more hopeful, and some of them are just breaking you or the player. We hope it will work.
At the very beginning of each project, I like to draft like plenty of music. So I like to not attach to it and just draft a lot of stuff that I can pick the best ones from. And when working on specific music, like hopeful music for the game, I usually start from the ground up. I don't do sketches, like really long sketches. I try to start with something, and then this something kind of directs me towards the next thing that should be there. Music is linear, so it's maybe a little different from art.
Yeah, and after music appeared in the project, we tried to catch the flow also, and it inspired us a lot. So it was so much easier when the music appeared in the project, and me and Kasper, the game director, is very inspired by the music. So we were listening of the playlists of the things we actually do like and think about the world that we want to create. So even before Piotr and the other composers started working on their chunk, we were actually thinking about the exploration of visuals and the colors and the shapes. It's slightly different than the project I was doing before, because it's city builder, so you don't have that much possibility of building up. It's like isometric. So it's way different for me. So we made a lot of sketches, blockouts, different color sets, and that was actually a very organic process.
It's very cool to hear that the music can also make influence on your art. This is probably something that makes the game really, and all the elements work together.
Yeah, cool. We love the music, and we actually can't imagine how it would work without it.
The music can be really hopeful or dramatic or tense sometimes. And you talk about the artistic style, and that's kind of inspired some of the instrumentation of the music. The artistic style and the setting of the game kind of showed us what instruments to use. For example, it felt quite natural to use instruments that could possibly exist in the world or survive the flood. Like the most universally used on the soundtrack was an acoustic guitar, for example, which could float in case of a flood, and it felt like the natural thing to use. For me, music has colors too, so sometimes when I see teal and orange, I kind of instantly feel what kind of instruments should be used for the picture, for example, or a movie, or the game. This is watercolor, like you said. It's much different from the projects I did before, and the colors in music are definitely existing.
Yeah, and we took the colors as an accent and dominant, so we were focused on those accents a lot, because we wanted the game to be very colorful. Orange, for instance, is rust, so whenever we wanted to build something orange, we thought about the rusty metals, so we were hoping that the sounds will be more connected to the metal. And that's with the yellow, plastic, blue, also plastic too. So we were thinking about materials and the color sets.
Creating ambience for a game is kind of a tricky thing. It has to repeat several times without the player noticing or getting bored of. But you have to keep the player playing and have to give the player some sort of purpose. So the drive, there should be some kind of drive, some sort of hook in the music, like a guitar riff should work, some kind of melodic line or some recurring, I don't know, maybe just short vocal motive. That should work. It's very nice to see how it all comes together and the styles kind of match and the meaning of the music is the same for everyone, even though the sound is a little different. The arrangements are different, the use of instruments is different. It's nice to see that everything came together and the cooperation was a success.
Yeah, and Kasper also was putting a lot of effort to merge those two fields, so we're very proud of merging art and sound. And this is funny because sound is art, but you know what I mean. It's actually general impression of events, of player experience, of building the new world and diversity in emotions. So this is something very beautiful in this game, and I've never had chance to work as close with the sound and music ever before, and it's not my first project.